With the ingenuity and passion of the Skyrim modding community, it is easier than ever to mod Skyrim into the game that you want it to be. Almost anything is possible, with the only limit to what you can do with it being your own imagination. I have converted Skyrim VR into an open-world zombie survival game where you hunt, gather, forage, craft, and explore your way to survival. In this video, I will take you through each and every mod you will need to create DayZ in Skyrim VR for yourself, explain what each mod does and how they individually affect the game. Before we get started, I want to mention some preliminary mods that I always install in all of my Skyrim VR games. Though they won't be required for this video, I do highly recommend having them installed to drastically improve your game experience. First, be sure to have SKSE VR script extender installed for all VR related mods. VR Combat Enhanced and No Stagger mod fix the broken and janky melee combat in the base Skyrim VR game and fix its nausea-inducing effects and unworkable combat physics. Finally, be sure to install SkyUI or your favorite menu interface mod. That's all we need to get started here, so without further ado, let's jump right into the video. There's a certain charm that comes with playing DayZ. The thrill of fighting for survival, creating your own story, and forging your path in a scary and unforgiving world. A world wrought with danger around every corner. A world where losing resources can be just as much of a nail in your metaphorical coffin as taking a bullet. Where your ability to survive is as much tied to your ability to acquire adequate resources as it is your ability to defend yourself. In order to properly capture the essence of DayZ in Skyrim VR, we'll have to start by fundamentally and radically changing the core of this fantasy-themed action RPG world by adding our favorite brain-eating friends, zombies, as the main antagonist to this horror novel we are creating for ourselves. We'll do this with 28 Days and a bit 5, Zombie Mutation SSE. This mod will add the basis of our zombie apocalypse with a number of possible pre-built scenarios to choose from, but for the purpose of this video, we will be selecting Dawn of the Dead mode, causing the dead to begin springing up all across Skyrim, wreaking havoc and infecting her people with swift and brutal efficiency. Before long, you will be the only one left alive to survive in this cruel world. The 28 Days mod goes a step further, adding some environmental effects, altering the weather dramatically and darkening the sky, causing a heavy and ominous feeling to seep into the land. This mod is extremely versatile in that it allows for complete customization to the player's preferences. How many zombies spawn, where they spawn, how likely they are to infect you or other survivors, how much health the zombies have, and even how much damage they deal. It really adds a level of customization and personalization for the player that is refreshing. So we have the basis of our novel that we're writing here, but I think we need to expand on the main plot a bit. Add some of the basic survival elements we will need to truly convert Skyrim VR into a fantasy VR version of DayZ. We'll start with INEED, food, water, and sleep. INEED will add the basic necessities of life to our Skyrim VR game, forcing our protagonist to worry about things like starvation, dehydration, and exhaustion. It will require the character to eat regularly, stay hydrated, and maintain proper sleep cycles, or be forced to suffer massive and crippling debuffs. Spend long enough without food and you'll find yourself quickly becoming zombie chow. We'll expand on INEED a bit with campfire and simple campfire additions. This will allow our main character here to cook what food they find into something edible, craft resources, tools, and weapons for themselves, and create tents for shelter, as the towns and cities of Skyrim will become virtually uninhabitable due to the zombie apocalypse. Simple Campfire Editions expands Campfire's crafting system just a bit further, adding various miscellaneous items and furnitures to be crafted. Where campfires will truly be appreciated is when we add Frostfall to our load order, expanding the aspects of survivability to our story, adding temperature changes and some new craftable clothing items while forcing our hero to monitor their own exposure to the elements as they traverse Skyrim. Snow, rain, and wind are now all elements that are just as deadly as the zombies themselves. As if survival wasn't going to be difficult enough, Let's crank it up a bit, scribble some notes in those margins, and throw Scarcity SE into the mix. In vanilla Skyrim, Scarcity fixes Skyrim's broken and overinflated economy, but here, in this world, it will significantly limit what is dropped by animals and NPCs alike, siphoning away what little resources our ill-fated hero could manage to scrounge up. If that wasn't bad enough, we'll raise the stakes, adding loot and degradation SE as our plot hook, adding durabilities to all of our weapons and armor, and spoil timers to our food, further restricting our unfortunate protagonist. Did you expect that our hero would simply be stuck in a leather tent for the rest of their life, damned to vagrancy and nomadism? Much like in DayZ, they will be capable of crafting the base of their dreams with Hearthcraft. Hearthcraft expands on the base campfire system drastically, using its resource management and crafting systems to allow our champion to forge their own place to lie their head in this cruel and harsh world. A place of rest and security when their body lie ill or their will lie broken. To ensure Campfire, Campfire Editions, and Hearthcraft all anchor items to your HMD properly, be sure to use Jackson's Positioner. This is critical to those mods working, so run Jackson's at the top of your load order if you absolutely have to. What would DayZ be if it wasn't a truly punishing and unforgiving experience? Nothing quite stings like spending days or even weeks gathering riches, valuables, and weapons only to be struck down by an unlucky horde or a greedy bandit. Knowing just how much time and effort you spent getting to that point only to have it all ripped away from you in an instant. With Dead is Dead, that is exactly what will happen in your Skyrim VR game, as it too adds a permadeath system, locking you out of your save file post-mortem. Now, death has meaning. No longer is it a simple shrug and a bit of frustration when you die. All your stats, whatever level you achieved, all your items, weapons, and armor will disappear with you as you fall into eternal slumber. Better luck next time, and thanks for trying. We're making really good progress here. We have a very strong story, some detailed world building, and it's clear exactly how our protagonist here is going to overcome their struggles. Let's add some finishing touches to this novel and some nice ominous touches to the exterior of our cover here. We all know, as much as we want it not to be true, that books are in fact quite frequently judged by their cover. We can really lean into the dread and grittiness of DayZ by adding Dark Forest of Skyrim SE. Dark forests will overhaul the trees, shrubs, and environmental effects of Skyrim, adding a dark and foreboding undertone to our horror story. New trees, alive, dead, and petrified, dot the landscape, bringing a new sense of dread to our hapless hero. It will change the whimsical fantasy exploration of the standard Skyrim to one filled with fear and apprehension to what lies around every corner. To further alter the mood and atmosphere of Skyrim VR to better suit DayZ, we'll use Sounds of Skyrim Complete SE. Sounds of Skyrim will add over 460 unique sound effects to the game, making the world of Skyrim sound more like an actual world. In the wilderness, you will not simply hear nothing. You will hear the faint sound of the wind dancing across the leaves of the trees, or wolves baying faintly in the distance. After the sun sets, the sounds of owls and ravens will be heard mocking you through the dark blanket of the night. Is that rustling of leaves just an animal scurrying away, or a zombie seeking an easy meal? Sounds of Skyrim adds a really nice level of depth and darkness to our manufactured DayZ world that we're creating for our main character. To elevate this to the next level, we'll install Yggdrasil, Music and Sound Effects Overhaul. Yggdrasil replaces the default music of Skyrim with dark, ominous Viking folk music, and even replaces some of the sound effects from things such as level ups and new location discoveries to be just that bit much more dark, that bit much more gritty, and just add a little bit more to keep our hero second guessing their every move. Of course, the real way to play is without any music at all. Turn the music volume all the way down in your settings menu for a real challenge. Nothing can be quite as unnerving as the sound of silence. Finally, install Realm of Lorkhan or your preferred alternate start mod to skip the Helgen Wagon Ride intro and turn the opacity all the way down on your HUD, and an entirely new world awaits you. A Skyrim VR experience as close to DayZ as it gets, an open world survival VR game in a horror zombie setting complete with hunting, foraging, crafting, scavenging, combat, RPG elements, and inventory and resource management, and more, and all inside of Skyrim VR. There it is, a completely customizable zombie survival experience in VR that you can try for yourself. If you enjoyed the video, I would just ask if you could do me a massive favor. Hit the like button, slap that subscribe button, and punch the notification bell. It's a really easy free way to help support the channel, while also making sure that you won't miss any more of my future videos. As always, let me know what you guys thought in the comment section down below, and be sure to share this video. I don't have any large organizations or agencies helping my channel grow, so the best thing you can do is to simply tell people this video exists. I'm gonna get out of here now. I got some zombies to kill. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gents. I love each and every one of you beautiful father muckers. Gramsy out.